Alright, for the last three problems from 7 to 29 odds on 511, we got 25, 27, and 29. So starting out on number 25, on this one you've got an r squared, an r, and a constant, and then right here you have an s squared. It seems to be out of nowhere. Now the trick to this is to identify the trinomial. The r squared and 6r plus 9 is a trinomial, so I'm going to reorder these. R squared minus 6r plus 9. I'm going to put the minus 9s squared on the end, since that's a negative value. So I have a combination of two things. I've got a trinomial that I can factor, and that means turning it into two parentheses. And this minus 9s squared is going to create a difference of two squares problem. So let's factor r squared minus 6r plus 9. That's going to be r times r. And then 3, and they're both negative. Alright, how I want you to view this is as a difference of two squares. So when I factor that, I'm still basically working with two big parentheses. To get r minus 3 times r minus 3, don't do anything fancy. All you're doing is putting r minus 3 times r minus 3 as your first terms into parentheses. This minus right here tells you that's a difference of two squares. So you have a plus and a minus. And to get 9s squared, that's 3s times 3s. Now in simplest form, you won't have these nested parentheses. So I'm going to put my large three-term parentheses back and just rewrite this r minus 3 plus 3s and r minus 3 minus 3s. If there's anything that could be simplified in there or combined in the way of like terms, you would go ahead and do that, but there's not in this case, so you're done at this stage of it. Let's see, what are we doing here? So here is your factored answer. Alright, number 27, you've got a u squared, a v squared, a u, and a v. And this one, you're actually working with a group of two binomials. There's no trinomial that can exist. The only way that you could have a trinomial here with a u squared and a v squared is if you had a uv as a middle term. So since that's not there, we'll look for factor by grouping next. So you're splitting these out. U squared minus 4v squared is a difference of two squares problem. So I've got u times u. I've got 2v and 2v. And then a difference of two squares has one as a plus, one as a minus. So when you factor that out, you'll get this. On my second set, what I want to do is pull out a 3, and I'm left with u minus v. No, I'm sorry, u minus 2v. And now you've got something in common. You've got u minus 2v in both terms. So here's where factor by grouping comes in. U minus 2v is your first set of parentheses, and in the second set, that's your what's left set of parentheses. So you have u plus 2v, and don't forget plus 3 is over here. And that is as far as you can go with that. Right? So here's your complete answer there. I'll highlight the answer since it's kind of hard to tell where we're at here. And the last one in this section was number 29. You have p to the second, a negative 1, a q to the second, and a q. So right here, left highlighter on, that works. You have a trinomial right here with the highlighter. I'm going to rewrite this as p to the second power, and now put your highest power of q on there. So I've got q to the second power, and then I have just regular q and minus 1. And this is your trinomial. Now the trick is, again, right here, you've got a negative number, meaning that you have to flip all the signs inside of your parentheses before you factor it. So you have a difference of two squares problem. This 4q squared will factor into 2q times 2q. 1 will factor into 1 and 1, and they're both positive. So in my next step, p squared right here is p times p. Difference of two squares means one's a plus and one's a minus. Now that takes care of all of this portion. I'm running out of room on my tablet again here. Takes care of all of this. Now drop in a 2q plus 1 and a 2q plus 1 here as well. And that's these two. I want to rewrite it without all of these parentheses. And here I have to distribute this negative to both of those terms. So that is p plus 2q plus 1, nothing changes. And this one will be p minus 2q minus 1. And that is your answer to the last one on that assignment. The next ones that we'll be doing is 31 to 47 odds in the B section of page 228. So I'll post a video shortly about how to do that as well.